Raw milk versus pasteurized milk. Which is better for you? Today I'll be raw milk versus pasteurized milk. Which is better for you? Today I'll be discussing the facts on raw milk and pasteurized milk, and I want you to come to the conclusion on which you would prefer. I'm not going to try to force you one way or another, but I'm just going to lay out the facts and hope you decide which you prefer. So, haven't made a video in a while. Sorry about that. Don't look my best. Just took a shower, but let's get into it. So, what is raw milk? Raw milk is essentially milk that hasn't gone through the process of pasteurization, in which a process in when milk is usually heated up to 161 Fahrenheit for about 15 seconds, and sometimes ultra pasteurization would be, I think, about 280 Fahrenheit for 2 seconds, and this is to kill pathogens slash bacteria and to extend its shelf life. The milk you find in the grocery store, like usually most of it is pasteurized. Uh, Except I think in like California you might find some raw milk, but it would say it. But pretty much most of this milk would be pasteurized. So let's get into the history of pasteurization. So quote unquote raw milk was never really a problem for the 8,000 to 9,000 years we drank it. People, raw milk was being drunk for, I mean, some, I don't know, sources date between 8,000 10,000 years, but people weren't getting sick, uh, even though it wasn't pasteurized. So why? Um, Before the Industrial Revolution, cows were on grass, they were on farms, they were in a natural habitat where they weren't exposed to bacteria, where they weren't, essentially here as we see, as the 1800s approached, cows were being put in small factories. They essentially would be put in rooms, I think, and they would be fed this thing called, I think it was sill. Could be wrong there, but just a mix of terrible quality food, and they were in such a bad, terrible environment, so the milk was getting infected really easily. And especially during this time with a lot of trade going on, milk would travel far distances without like any type of refrigeration or anything, being easier for the milk to be exposed to bacteria. So this was causing many people to get sick, and that pasteurization was invented to stop this. So, should you drink raw milk? So let's get into it. Nutrition. So this is one of the big reasons why people do decide to drink raw milk. Let's get into the nutrition. So as we can see here, I think this is based off a meta-analysis from about 40 studies, and yeah, most bioavailable nutrients are damaged with pasteurization, but some of them are added back in the form of synthetic vitamins. Usually about mainly like D, a couple major vitamins. But then again, most digestive enzymes and growth factors are killed with pasteurization that aren't added back. So, and many sensitive to milk who have claimed they have no problems with raw milk. This is most likely due to the digestive enzymes making it easier on their stomach. So, other than that, like the macros, pretty much the same. A lot of the other stuff is the same. But I mean, a lot of enzymes, growth factors, EPA, DHA, a lot of especially some bioavailable vitamins, calcium. I think zinc mainly is one that gets reduced a lot in iron. But other than that, it is pasteurized milk. Um, Other than those major things, it still has a decent nutritional profile. So, but that's why we see a lot of people having raw milk easier on them, easier on their stomach, easier on their skin, because raw milk gets killed, especially things like lactoferrin, a lot of these beneficial enzymes, and especially immunoglobulins. I can never pronounce this. Immunoglobulins. Oh my gosh, but that is what gets missing when you pasteurize milk. So, how might this affect you? So this would mean raw milk would be better for bone growth, skin health, and gut health, especially with nutrition. Your osteoblasts will be stimulated much more, in turn causing bone growth. It's better for superior nutrition slash enzymes. Um, Raw milk doesn't have highly processed synthetic hormones, which do drive sebum production, which why people can see acne when they drink dairy and stuff that is pasteurized. Furthermore, these enzymes improve digestion and reduce inflammation. So, but let's get into the obvious. So, what is the risk of bacteria? So, with raw milk, there's always a risk of bacteria such as E. coli and Salmonella. The risk of getting disease from raw milk compared to pasteurized, there's so many. There's a wide range of studies. There's a wide range of, but I mean it's 9 to 800 times more, but there's really like not a lot of concrete proof on a number. But however, it is still both a very very small number. So approximately 1 in 990,000 chance, according to some studies. But some studies do have it less or a higher chance. But the thing is, leafy greens such as lettuce, spinach, eating raw leafy greens have a higher risk rate of getting diseases. So people eat raw fruit all the time, raw vegetables, and it really isn't as demonized. So just take that into consideration. And it's not necessarily black and white. You don't contract the disease from rolling a die. The living conditions of the animal, what the milk has been exposed to, in your immune system, and other factors come into play on whether you get sick or not. So, so I hope you came to a decision. If you do want to get raw milk, I recommend getting it from a healthy, trusted source and talk to your farmer if you do. But anyways, thank you.